Howdy y'all, Fast Forward 289. So, tonight I have wheel well moldings to go on my car. Nice chrome trim piece that goes in here, fills in the wheel area nice, dresses it up, makes it look really good. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to show you what I got and show you how to install them. So when it comes to installing these, once in a while you'll come across this. I see this quite often really. To where you'll have screws left over to where there used to be some on a car and maybe somebody took them off because they didn't like them or they got damaged or whatever. But the screws are still in here because they couldn't get the screw out, so they just break the trim ring off around it and leave the screw. So I got to remove this to clean this up to be able to get the new piece in here. This one's a little stripped out, so we're gonna have to sit here and fight this a little bit to figure out how I'm gonna get it out. If your threads are dirty, the grip point for your screwdriver, you take a scraper and scrape it out to clean it. I've already done this one, and see, it's still not really wanting to grab. So what you can try to do, what I'm gonna try to do, is put it in here with a lot of pressure with my thumb, and we're gonna grab some pliers and use them to turn it. Put a lot of pressure on it, and that's what I was afraid of. It won't come loose. So we're going to try another method. So if you tried the first method like I did and the screw will not grab because it's just too stripped out, or whatever the case may be, see, this here will not even try to grab. I mean, it's somewhat, I can feel it trying to very barely, but not really. Luckily, in my case, the screw head was sticking out just enough. If you take your pliers and you stick it in the jaws here and you get a grip on it, you can take it and turn it and break it loose like this. Now, if this method don't work, you're probably going to have to try to come behind here with a pair of pliers, maybe grab the threads and get it to turn out, or cut it off. Whether you get a saw in here or whatever and cut it from the backside and punch this out from the backside, or try to get a blade in here, but you will scratch your paint if you do that. Get a blade between there and cut the head of the bolt off. You can try that, but you will scratch the paint, so be aware of that. Once you got that screw out, you go around the car, get all the screws like that out. You want to go around and check your wheel lips and see, you want to make sure they're pretty flat and even like this all the way around. This one here is pretty good actually. You just want to go around and make sure there's no metal being stuck out or it's being bent or whatever. You want to make sure it's nice and flat. But if you look right here, you can kind of see how this one is pushed out just ever so slightly. So what I'm going to do is I got a body hammer. That's what this is for. And I'm going to tap this back in place. But I need to move the wheel, turn the wheel in, so I can get access in here and just tap that into place ever so slightly. Now that I got the wheel turned, I'm going to take this body hammer. We want to make it flat, so you want to look at it from the edge where it's flat, and just make it flat with the rest of it, and just give it some taps. Be careful not to hit your wheel. You don't want to mark it up. You can take the wheel off if it makes you feel better. I just turned mine. I'm very careful with it, but and there we go. A little bit more. And that's a whole lot better. Clean that up really nice. There we go. That's like brand new again. And that's what you want to do for everywhere around the car. You want to go through and make sure that it's like that all the way around, nice and flat and even, because you want your wheel well moldings to sit flat. So we got this one done. I'm going to go around and get the other one straightened out, and then I'll be back to show how to install the wheel well chrome piece. Alright, so once you've gone around the car and you cleaned up your wheel wells and made sure that there weren't no metal, wavy, make sure all the lips are pretty flat and even and clean and whatnot, And if your car had wheel well moldings, you more than likely can probably use the exact same holes, and you don't have to drill any. If you don't have holes, if your car never came with them, then you got to drill the holes. This is the piece right here. Not a bad piece. You know, I got them off eBay because for some reason the reproduction companies can't get them for some reason. But you can see it's got a pretty good shine to it and all. Like, it looks like it's pretty good, you know. I don't know how well you can see it. There we go. See, it looks pretty good. But be mindful, these are thin pieces. They're very, very easy to bend. It takes no effort. I could bend this without even trying. So be very careful when you're installing these. They do bend easy. Keep that in mind. Also, what I like to do is, you can wash your car beforehand, but I like to take a rag and just wipe off any dirt that could be potentially around the edges. And you could also, if you have like raw metal or anything, or rust, now's your time to wire brush it, sand it, do whatever you gotta do, and put, if you can, paint it. You know, obviously if you can't match the paint, you know, or what you can do is tape off, cause the trim goes over the lip a little bit. So you can always tape off right along the edge here and paint that part, and then your trim will cover. So even if it's not the exact same color paint that you're using, you can still paint it. The wheel trim will cover this and over the edge, so you can do that. That's an option. But anyway, I like to clean the edge with a rag just to make sure it's free of any dirt, because you don't want to trap any dirt in here, then it's going to rust. So, alright, when you're getting ready to do this, there's a good possibility that you're not going to be able to just throw these up there and they fit. More than likely, you're going to have to kind of work on it. You need to look at it, see. They don't label these, at least not these, left, right. They did label them front and back, but not left or right. But you can look. The fender comes down further on this side than this side, so obviously if you look at your piece, this side comes lower than that side. It's pretty self-explanatory. But what you're probably going to have to do is put it in here, and you're probably going to have to kind of like help form it as you install it, because it might not be an exact perfect fit, if you know what I mean, and just kind of like bend it into place. So you want to look at the lines in your car, obviously, and make sure you get it right. You know, line it up with the fender and the body lines, and you can, once you get like one body line lined up, you can pop a screw in it and work your way around and kind of help bend it. You can bend these a little bit. See, I barely, any pressure on that moved a little bit, just barely move it. And you can form it to the fender to make it fit the way you need to. And here's a good example of what I mean by sometimes the factory holes will not line up. So I got to re-drill that hole, but not a big problem. So we'll take care of that. Alrighty guys, here we go. And we are done. It took me a while to get it because I'll be honest with you, they're not bad, but you can tell they're a cheaper brand. If I could have had like some original styles, it would have been a whole lot smoother. But all in all, it turned out very nice. I'm pleased with it. Like I said, they're just cheaper brand. You can tell they're very sensitive, easy to bend. Had to re-drill a few holes. This is actually the only one I did not have to re-drill a single hole on. Now on most of them, on the other three, I could utilize most holes, but as you can see right here, well no, you can't really tell right here, but I had to re-drill this hole, and I had to re-drill that hole here, and I believe that one. I could utilize the top ones, and it was about the same on the other side too, but either way, I think that adds to the style of the car with them wheels that I bought with the stainless trim around the polished aluminum around the rim, and then that chrome trim going down the center. It really just adds to it, makes it pop. I think it really added to the car. Okay, so that's it. We're finished all up, got them all done. I showed y'all how it looks now from a stand back view. And it turned out really nice. Like I said, you got to take your time when you're doing this. They are a fairly cheap brand. Actually, I don't even know what the brand of them are, to be honest with you. I found them on eBay because the reproduction companies like Max Auto Parts, Eckler's Auto Parts, Auto Crafters, they don't have them right now. For some reason, they can't get them. I tried to order from there, and they said their supplier discontinued them. So
You know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. I found these on eBay, so I snatched them up. They did say made in Taiwan, so again, like I said, they're a cheaper model, but they still look good. I think they turned out very nice. It's just you got to be, if you find a set on eBay like I did and you decide to do this to your car, keep in mind they are very easy to bend. I mean, it takes no effort at all to bend them. One of them I got out of the box was actually kind of bent a little bit. I had to straighten it out, but like I said, it's easy to fix. But they look good. They look really good, you know. Maybe later on down the road I'll get a better set if I can find them. But this turned out very nice, and I'm pleased with them. So, yeah. Comment down below. Oh, also I want to tell you, sometimes when you're installing these, you have to kind of like, I had to like tap it with the palm of my hand. Like the trim would be up there. I'd like tap it up around the wheel lip and all to seat it. You know, get a couple screws started and like tap it as you go to kind of help form it and beat it into place with the shape of the wheel well, so or the fender lip, I should say. And but use the palm of your hand. You don't want to dent it. So use that as soft, and it won't hurt it, and that'll help shape it into place and make it easier to install. Like I said, if your car had trim, it'll make it easier because you can utilize at least some of the holes, if not all of them. And if not, you got to take your time because you got to put it there, get it in place. Maybe use some tape or something to hold it in the place where you want it, and then you have to drill the holes and just take your time. That's the best thing. I got lucky my car came with them from the factory, but somebody took them off down the road, and I reinstalled them, so it helped me. But like my '76 Ford truck, it never came with them, and I put them on. You just gotta take your time, and them were a better model. They came from a reproduction company. They were like original. They were sturdy, strong. You can still shape them, but they're a lot stronger. But yeah. So that's all I got. We're done. I think it turned out well. Comment down below and let me know what y'all think. If y'all have done this to your car, how did it turn out? Let me know what you think about how mine turned out. And I'm on Instagram now, so you can follow me there on Instagram at FastForwards289, just like the YouTube channel name. If you have not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. It'll help me out. I'd appreciate it. And as always, hit the like button if you liked the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you liked it. And as always, thank y'all for watching. Take care.